Just gonna give it a minute. I don't know if this live is gonna work. I have bad reception here. Hopefully. So if it cuts off, I'll jump on later. Welcome. I'm Rob. Welcome to the live stream. The struggle, the class war. Something's been haunting me. Just haunting me. Last week, my family got absolutely devastating news. We're wrecked. I've never seen kids get depressed anymore, and my daughter's talking to me about it. I love those crows. So, we've just been in turmoil for a week. It feels like your soul's eroding. Someone said something to me last week. An acquaintance. A person in a position of power. An authority figure over me. Work related. And they were being kind, don't get me wrong. I have no ill will, no ill intent here. I just have to get this off my chest because so many people think like this. And it's a lie. They've lied to themselves to get through the monotony, to be able to ignore, be ignorant, stay blissful to the suffering happening immediately next to them. Well, someone said, don't worry, you'll get through this. We're all in this together. We're all part of the same tribe, the human tribe. And it was kind, and it felt supportive, but it just lingered. And I mean, I've been having a rough one, waking up in the middle of the night multiple times, thinking I'm in a nightmare. It's hard to explain. It's like, have you ever seen a movie where they have a scene and somebody's going through something extremely traumatic, and then it cuts to this weird thing that you can't tell if it's a dream or not, and then it does something outlandish, and then the person wakes up, and that's like the scene from the movie. That's happening to me like a few times a night. And sometimes I can't go back to sleep, sometimes I can. The stress, the devastation has sunk into my subconscious. It's all consuming. That's what depression is, just so if anybody doesn't know or is unaware. It's not something where you can feel good at one point. It's just it's a pit in your stomach. You carry it around everywhere with you. Depression is not something you could shake off, not something you can, like my dad used to say, every day get up, wash your face, splash some water on your face, it's a new day. Depression, you can't do that. But this person, we're professionally related, said that, we're all part of the same tribe, the human tribe. You'll get through this. We're all in it together. And it's just been haunting me for a week now. 7 days, haunting me in the back, just lingering in the back of my head. I keep hearing it over and over. And today it dawned on me why that bugged me so much. In the moment, it was comforting. I understand it was meant to be supportive, and it's nothing against this person. Seriously, no ill will. No ill will, no intent, no malicious intent do I have. That's where people get lost. Like, I just need to start saying no disrespect. Because I don't mean disrespect, it's just I can't agree with everything. Some things I see differently, and I have to talk about it. Like this professional acquaintance who said, when I had my panic attack, he helped walk me to my car because I couldn't even walk. My hands were numb, I couldn't move, I couldn't make a fist. I wasn't getting oxygen to my body. I thought I was gonna faint. And he says, don't worry, we're We're all part of the same tribe. We're all in this together. You get through this. And it felt supportive in that moment. But it has been haunting me. Haunting me. It's like the people who say, you know, when you say, how you doing? They go, just another day in paradise. And I always think, what fucking world are you living in? Or no, they say, live in the dream. That's what it is. They say, live in the dream. And I say, what dream are you living in? I'm living in a fucking nightmare right now. And I am. But the reason why saying that we're all part of the human race is a lie is because we're not. I know some people think it. And I believe some people think it because they are lying to themselves to stay blissfully ignorant about the suffering and the realities of the situation that are at hand in this moment. Right next to them, these things are happening. Right next to them. But because it hasn't happened to them yet, and because they think it will never happen to me, they have these mantras, we're all part of the same human race, we're all this. And so I realized today, it hit me, I was like, it's a lie. That's what it is. And just the other day, my daughter was like, Dad, don't you love this quote from Martin Luther King Jr.? She really loves the civil rights movement and the abolition movement, so she studies all this stuff. I'll say what's up in a second to the comments. And the quote this weekend was, it's not the words of the enemies we'll remember, but the silence of our friends. And that was just ruminating. Oh no, very bad connection. I knew this was gonna happen. I hope I don't get disconnected. Let me just get to my point then. And I realized that's what it is. These people that say we're all part of the same race, the human race, we're not. Like my bosses, the people I work for, I just posted on Twitter how much I take home. I take home 20% of my paycheck. They fight me. These people fight me. The greed, the wealthy, the powerful, they don't think of us as the same tribe, the human race. Because if they did, they would have compassion, empathy, and just respect to pay us enough to live. That's all we're asking for. I'm not being greedy. I want to be able to keep a roof over my kid's head and buy food for them. I can't do that. I posted on Twitter the percentage of what I take home. 80%, between 70 and 80%, the one I posted was 80%, goes to my insurance, taxes, stuff that the company will not pay for, what we're fighting for with our union. And I take home 20%. And mind you, that's on minimum wage. I've always said these companies that pay minimum wage, if they could pay you lower, they would. That's why we have a minimum wage, because they're sitting at rock bottom. And if they could get away with less, they would. And that's how you know that there's a lot of people. And that's why I say it's a class war. It's not left versus right, it's up versus down. Because the wealthy people do not look at workers, poor people, the working class, the middle class as humans. They don't. They fight us every day. They're well organized. They spew out propaganda, these things that are just against common sense. I mean, it's against common sense to not pay your workers enough to at least patronage your business. We can't patronage our own business. And this isn't like just me. It's like many people I work with are like, I can't even come here. If I didn't get a free whatever a day, I would never come here. But they're just so greedy. They're exploiting and siphoning everything they can from our communities. And it's not like they don't have enough. This is where I get so confused on people arguing about this. It's like, who are you defending? These are people that their great grandkids will never worry about rent, going hungry, food insecurity. And that's why today I realized people that think we're all in this together and we're all going to get by and it's going to be okay are bullshit. They're lying to themselves. Both my parents died and it wasn't okay. There was no resolution, no happy ending. My friends checked out of this earth because there was no hope for them, no resolution. They couldn't get by. They were trapped in poverty. So when I fight every day, when I do this live stream, the Class War, the Struggle, it's because I need people to understand if you work for a living, if you have compassion as a human, You need to stand side by side, whether it's happening to you now or not. I never cared. When I was on radio making six figures, I didn't care how much I made. In fact, when people were like, oh, if you care so much, why don't you shelter people, give people money? My boss would not let me take money out of my salary to give it to the lowest paid people because he wouldn't give them a raise, and I said, take it out of my money. And I don't like to talk about that, and people can vouch for me on that if you think it's BS. But that's how genuine I am. That's how serious I am about this, because the people that are the most vulnerable, the lowest paid, are the ones saying, I just want to survive. I need to be able to afford to live. Bullshit saying. In America, right? If you say it's the greatest country on earth, why do we have that saying? I can't afford to live. Like my buddy says, like, you're an idealist, you're an optimist. No, it's just at one point in America, families, 2 working adults, could afford to live. They could go on a vacation, have a car, get a college education, buy a home. That eroded over the past 30 years. And everyone's just like, oh, it's always been like this. You just got to work 40 jobs, 100,000 hours a week. And it's like people have become complacent, mostly because maybe it hasn't happened to them yet, or they get to live with their parents, or, they're in a circumstance where they're like, I know I'm getting an inheritance, or, I know that if something goes wrong, I got this. And that's why that MLK quote just echoes in my head. It's not about the enemies. The people who are against us, the wealthy, who fight us, put out propaganda, own the media outlets, they'll say, oh, if we raise the minimum wage, millions of jobs will be lost. That's bullshit. It's not true. You gain jobs. People want to work. Like, they want to get paid. They want to buy a house. The people who go, oh, people don't want to work anymore. Fuck you. Plain and simple. Fuck you. It's the complacency of our friends. It's not the enemies. I expect the wealthy and the selfish to always be like that. To just be greedy, only worry about themselves, and want more and more and more. Greed knows no bounds. But it's the friends who are quiet while they witness. I mean, I've lost so many people. I just have never been, I quit being quiet a long time ago. Because once I started watching people I loved just disappear off this earth forever. This morning I was like, God, Dad, I miss you. I don't even know what your fucking voice sounds like anymore. It's been 20 years. 19, I forget. And if I could help, if I can lend my voice, if I could speak up for someone who may be suffering, who may have an opportunity, if they got paid more, to afford, or healthcare was different, to afford to get the help they needed, or the mental health help, or secure, the number one cause for people checking out of Earth is financial issues. You see it all the time. There's no hope. They're, massively in debt. They can't afford anything, and they check out. And if we can fix that, it's like if the people who have the most fucking money just didn't have that much. I'll never forget, my old boss in radio would be like, oh, you're saying people should be capped? You should cap people's wealth. And a lot of people won't say yes to that because they're scared, because they think, oh, one day if I'm a millionaire, I don't want someone to cap my wealth. And I would always answer them, no. But I think if most of your employees live on food stamps or can't survive, then your pay should be tied directly to theirs. And it should be some kind of percentage equivalent. So as much as you benefit, the people who are creating that wealth should be able to benefit. I only got a couple more minutes. Jay, hey, what's up? Good morning. Thanks for dropping by, you guys. Ample Thought, what's up, man? Just to let you know, the video, it's cutting out. Yeah, I have such bad service. I'm gonna come back on that. I'd rather be sleeping than dealing with things as they are. My first job paid me $185 an hour, but I was busting my ass as a 14-year-old waitress. Yeah, that's how I feel. I'd rather be asleep. Like, when I go to sleep, it's the only moment where I have calm, and then I wake up from nightmares. And it's horrific. It's horrific living like this. I'm sorry if this was breaking up. I'm going to try to get on a little later today. Sorry, my brain is like glitching. If I sound like I'm glitching, it might not be the internet, it might just be me. Because I gotta go in a minute. I'm just so stressed, and this is eating me alive. Like, I just keep praying, and I gotta go read some of the Bible again. I'm in second Samuel chapter 5 now. That's the only thing. Jay, I don't know if you read the Bible, but David's story is incredible, and it's given me strength. Thank you guys, everybody who has subscribed. Thank you everybody who comes to the live stream. It really, like, it means the world to me, and this has kind of been my little outlet, because, you know, you got to be strong around the wife and kids. You gotta, you know, just be there for them and try to inspire hope. And at work, I can hardly even function. So this little, I know it's supposed to be a class war, and I talk about news and entertainment and always try to, like, go back to comedy or just be sarcastic. So this past week, it's been much different, and I'm sorry. I need this outlet. So please forgive me. I promise you we'll get back to, like, making jokes and all that shit at some point. But right now, like, this is the most devastating thing that's happened since my dad died. I've never been this terrified. My kids aren't sleeping, you know, to see a 10-year-old wake you up at 2 in the morning and just stay up all night and just, you know, you see it in their eyes. You see it in their eyes. That's what I mean. Like, sometimes when I talk to people, you know you're cut from the same cloth. You can tell in their eyes. And then sometimes you know you're on different planets. You can tell in their eyes. Jay, I read it, but have a hard time understanding it. Not stupid. No, I get it, because there's a lot to follow. But if you can get God's Word translation, amazing translation, very, like, plain English. Never read the King James. That old English stuff is just not good. God's word translation. I have the Bible app, and it will read it to you. That's what I do in the car. I listen to it. But there's many translations, and it's very much like David's story versus King Saul, and how he became King David of Israel, tribe of Judah, all that. It's very fascinating. It's almost medievalish. Like, they call him my Lord, and I was like, this would make such a great movie. Okay, I gotta go. I thank you guys so much for joining this live stream. And if you haven't subscribed, please. I'm gonna get back to the old live streams. I promise you. It's so hard to make a joke right now. It's so hard. Like, it's so hard to laugh. So if you have subscribed, thank you so much. You are so important to me. I'm so grateful. This small little family, this community. And if you haven't subscribed, I promise we'll get back to more interesting and entertaining class war stuff. If you hit subscribe and the little notification bell, you'll get notified, because right now it's early in the morning. I'm going live. I'm going to probably go live again later today, because this was just a random. I needed to get it out. Jay, hope you have a blessed day. Try to read the book of Samuel. I'm telling you, so great. God's Word translation. Thank you for stopping by, Jay. Ample thought. And I forget if there was someone else in here. I'm so sorry. Thank you guys so much. And hit that notification bell so you get alerted. And I love these conversations too. People in the comments, thank you so much. To paraphrase Carlin, they say live in the American dream because you have to be asleep to experience it. Amen to that. And on that note, long live Carlin. Peace.